From here on out, you are to show some respect. Do you understand?
Today, we draw Kokushibo from Demon Slayer in 4 different styles. Let's start off with the anime style. Kokushibo is the strongest demon in the 12 Kisuki under Muzan Kubutsuji, and I've been waiting forever to draw Demon Slayer characters in 4 different styles. In the past, I did both Nezuko and Tanjiro, but I did them as shorts and not full-length drawings. So I want to start off with anime because I think it's going to be an excellent place to start to get an overall depiction of color and framework, and I wanted to keep the eyes in. I didn't want to change it too much by changing it into a different character. Now, I don't know about you, but I cannot absolutely wait to see Kokushibo versus all the Hashira in the next segment of the movie because I think it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, you're talking about a demon who is the second greatest swordsman to ever live. I mean, not only are we going to see amazing fight scenes, but we're going to see a really cool backstory between he and his brother Yoriichi. And if you're not too much familiar with the manga or the anime, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's going to be a really interesting and epic showdown between the two. And if you're a fan of the show, you know exactly what I mean. With the anime complete, we're now going to head on to the pop art section. And now you might be thinking to yourself, well, why pop art specifically? I think it fits incredibly well because it's going to take the dark disposition of the character and the very mysterious nature, and we're going to ramp it up with a whole bunch of bright, vibrant colors that may not be existent, give it a semi-surrealist look, but just make it vibrant. And the juxtaposition, I think, is going to be really well. As we get in one of his awesome intro scenes, as you're seeing here in the movie, you just get this really cold disposition. I think it gives a really great juxtaposition. I know you're using a lot of ishins, but I think it gives a really cool way of looking at the character in a fun new light. Bringing him out of the pop art, we're going to drag him now into the moonlight. Moonlight is my interpretation of drawing him through the moon breathing style. But before we do, I want to show how to layer alcohol markers correctly. As you can see, this is at speed. This is not ramped up to 10 or 20, 30 times speed. This is how I work when I layer in my alcohol markers. It's very slow, very methodical, and I want to work very lightly as I layer in each color, especially if I wanted to have this, moonlight effect. And what I mean by a moonlight is when we look at moonlight, it's cast in grays and blues and light purples. It has a shadowiness to it, but it is reflective of the sunlight, which works great when we think of the characters of Yoriichi and Kokushibo because they are both the sun breathing and the moon breathing. Small spoiler warning, Kokushibo couldn't master sun breathing from his brother, so he created the moon breathing as a branch of sun breathing, which is where all breathing techniques originate from. So for this particular effect, I really want to cast everything in blues, grays, and a hint of purple. It's going to be very light. It's not going to be very strong at all with the colors. It's going to have like a washed watercolor effect. I think it works incredibly well with this very soft disposition, especially how mysterious the character is and very little backstory that we have up until this moment, or unless you've read the manga. But now, let's make it as incredibly realistic as possible. I'm not going with human tones here. Here we're going to have lots of grays, varying cools and warm grays. I really want the face to have a pale, lifeless quality that most of the demons have. Unless you're Akaza, and then you're just a big blue basketball or whatever he's supposed to be. If you're struggling with color pencils, especially of any variety, I want you to give you this really important tip, and that's to work lightly across all the paper. Generally lay in all of your values and tones first before you try to blend everything in, because once you blend everything in with cheaper color pencils, it becomes incredibly hard. But with the more expensive color pencils, it becomes a little bit easier. If you're really having trouble, what I would recommend is then you put down alcohol markers as a base tone first, and then work over the top with color pencils. That can get you a really simple three-dimensional effect. It's a pretty good tool when I was first kind of learning how to use multimedia, and I think it'll help you too. I didn't take as quite normally as I would on hair, but that's just because hair was not going to ever be the focal point. I really wanted these stark eyes to be the core focal point of this entire drawing, but I think I like the way it came out. It was really wavy, it had a nice flow to it. It actually came out as one of my better hair designs than I normally like. But I need to ask you one important question. Which side did you like best? For me, I think it's the anime. It kind of has a very nostalgic feel, but it might be someone else's different favorite. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next video.